Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris.
And I'm Jodi.
Welcome back to WearTesters Unlaced. This is episode 14. Previous episode, I actually kind of switched around the titling of the podcast.
Like with the thumbnails?
Well, that and the title.
Okay.
So I had literally titled it the Pop Culture Podcast WearTesters Unlaced. It's every time I go through like the podcast, like before we upload and everything, I'm just like, this is really like encompassing all of modern pop culture. Sneakers, popular culture right now. Nerd stuff, popular culture right now. Your weird stories and stuff where we're supposed to be learning new things, but instead we're getting the shit scared out of us with murder mysteries and stuff, even though they've been solved. Technically, modern pop culture, because it's a new age type of phenomenon, even though there were those shows when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's just been interesting. So like I said, when I was making everything last week, I was changing the thumbnail up to just try to like make it like more eye-catching, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then I landed on that whole like the pop culture podcast theme, and I was just like, I kind of like that, because that's essentially what
It's more broad.
it's what we were already doing.
Yeah.
So it didn't even like it just what we were titling things was just straight up like, the show is called WearTesters Unlaced, but what it essentially is a pop culture podcast called WearTesters Unlaced. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into sneaker news, shall we? So the Adidas and Fear of God, I don't know what to call this. I don't know if it's a collaboration. I don't know if it's Fear of God by Adidas or whatever, because this is Fear of God Athletics. And they're clearly partnered with Adidas to release these products and everything. But when Fear of God did a collaboration with Nike on a basketball product, even though I think there was somebody that wore them in an NBA game, but like really nobody wore the shoe for what it was intended for, which was performance, you know what I mean? But when that shoe released, it was co-designed by Leo Chang, friend of the channel. And so when that shoe released, first off, I didn't like it. Second off, it was mad limited. Third, it was hella expensive and I just couldn't get a pair, so I never ended up trying them out or anything on court. This pair though, like that last pair from Nike sold through fast, and I think they released in a couple of colorways. This shoe released in two colorways, the launch colorway with the kind of like colored toe, like the cream toe, and then there's one that's just like a all black upper. They're just sitting. Like I think you could still get them like right now. They're $250, by the way. I know. I think that the other ones were, or they were around there. I could be wrong, the Nikes. I don't know what's going on, but like I thought that was odd, like where I think this is that hype beast.
Well, to be fair, I didn't even think that was an Adidas shoe.
It's just the cage
But
has the stripes.
I thought that was a taller version of those casual Jordan shoes that came out like a year or two ago.
What casual Jordans?
He had one for his mom. I think you had like the blue pair. They were like Jordan version of Vans,
I know what
basically.
you're talking about. Yeah. What were those called? I don't know. Those were dope though.
But that's what
They kind of look like that. They have a cup sole, like it's real like simple.
Yeah. So
but
I
they're
was
like
just
high
like,
tops.
okay, that's weird. They made a high top version of it. And then you're like, this is a collaboration with Adidas and Fear of God. And I was like, what?
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, they did kind of look like those. Actually, they did come out in high tops.
They did?
Yeah, they don't look good, but
Do they look similar to that?
no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess a little bit, but like depending on the color. But they look whack compared to the low top one. The low top one was clean. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that happened. People seem to have been interested in it prior to the release, and then nothing. So to top off our sneaker news, there's not been much really that's been interesting me personally. So if it's not interesting to me or piquing my interest, obviously we're not going to talk about it here on the podcast. So the last thing that I saw was Footwear News has apparently for 37 years, this is their 37th annual Footwear News Achievement Award, an award ceremony that I've heard of today. Like I was like today years old, you know what I mean? And like, so I'm just kind of like 37 years. So that's weird to me, but Adidas' CEO was accepting the award for Shoe of the Year for the Adidas Samba, which I find ridiculous because the shoe is old as it's 2023. That shoe that's been around for decades can't be Shoe of the Year now. Like, shouldn't Shoe of the Year be like the most progressive or the most innovative or the best new whatever? Like, it should be completely original and new. Like, if there were ever a retro, like when, you know how people make like Shoe of the Year lists on YouTube, and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is the best shoe of the year or whatever and stuff. I feel like there should be like annotations being like, there should be a best retro of the year. There should be a best basketball shoe list of the year. There should be a best running shoe of the year. But shoe of the year and having it be from fucking a shoe that released and has been in circulation for decades.
The only argument I could make is if they had to show their sales numbers, and if it truly was.
I don't care about the sales numbers, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where if it was the most purchased shoe, then that's different. But even then,
I feel like that would make it a shoe of the year. I do understand what you're saying. Like, there should be a most innovative and...
Shoe of the year should just be something fresh and new. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be like a brand new, never before design or seen design with some type of purpose or whatever. But anyways, the guy was accepting the award, and as he's saying his speech or whatever, he said, to the people from Nike here, he literally said this, like out loud, in a room full of executives from all of these brands. He says, to the people from Nike here, watch out, we have a lot in the pipeline. The shoe of the year that you just won an award for came out in 1940 whatever. What could you possibly, we just talked about how your Fear of God collaboration's sitting like ducks. What is it that you have in the pipeline?
Well, you know, they have shell toes coming out in a couple decades.
The campus. Like, it's like, bro, where's the new And so I'm just kind of sitting here like, bro, what the
Wonder almost if it's that thing where, remember at the VMAs in the early 2000s when Britney Spears went up on stage and she gave Michael Jackson.
I know, and then he
thought it was an award, but it was almost like a birthday thing.
I know, but look.
Maybe that's what happened, and it wasn't really an award.
Mike was hopped up on, okay? Like, we all know this. But like, this dude won an award for an old ass shoe while then saying that, watch out, competitors, we've got a lot in the pipeline, while winning an award.
I'm just saying, maybe it wasn't really an award. Maybe they're just like, he doesn't know.
The Shoe of the Year award is what it said.
I don't know.
Okay, so you're winning Shoe of the Year award while saying we got a lot in the pipeline, while winning Shoe of the Year for a shoe that released decades ago. That's the most ironic shit I think you can ever come up with. Like, you couldn't write a better story. And then Jordan Brand chairman Larry Miller, I don't know what he was up on the podium for, but basically he said, I want to say to the brands and folks that called us out earlier, bring it on, we're ready for you. First off, I like that, because like, for one, like, even though you are boasting about you got a lot of stuff in the pipeline while talking about I just won an award for a shoe from 19 whatever, at least there's some sort of competition in the marketplace again. They're beefing in a good way. And then I liked how Jordan Brand's chairman responded with like, yo, bring that shit. But I still think that it's ironic to the, you know, whatever degree, because both of these brands rely on the past, and they rely on the past a lot. Like, I'm talking about for like 90+% of their revenue. If you're in the market for a new insole or orthotic, then we'd recommend checking out the products from today's sponsor, Move. Move offers 3 different insole options. The Game Day is perfect for those with a normal or neutral arch that want a little extra support underfoot, along with a little extra cushioning. The Game Day Pro is for those that have a high arch and or those that prefer a more substantial torsion system within their footwear. This is the insole that we'd recommend if you're a taller athlete or a professional athlete. The Move All Day is a polyurethane-based insole that features a neutral arch plate, perfect for everyday wear. The polyurethane offers a bit of extra bounce with each step and can transform the comfort level of your daily retro sneakers up a few notches. If you are interested in checking out any of the insoles Move has to offer, then you can head over to www.move.one and check out all the items that are available. Timeout! So just in case you're new here, Timeout is a segment that we do that is quite literally a timeout from everything that we just talked about. We're not talking about basketball, sports, footwear, none of that. All we're going to be talking about is nerd stuff. Basically right now, I don't have any like new pickups that I feel like showing, I don't think. Did I show this already? I think I did. No, I didn't. Oh, well, I found a retro of April. I also got the Mondo Gecko. Found Tom Holland, the Sandman.
Who looks naked.
I mean, he looks like the Sandman from the movie.
No, I don't know. Seeing him in toy figure mode.
Like, you wish that he had his clothes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is what it is. But yeah, and then I found Tobey Maguire. And then earlier, like before I found all these, I found Andrew Garfield. I don't know why he's in a separate box. He's like in a box for his own movie, whereas all these guys are in the box for the same movie. And the toys are all for the same movie as it is. So I thought that was strange. And then I also found this guy right here. This guy's really cool. He's called the Midnighter. He's from a group or whatever in the comic books from a team called the Authority. This character right here is my best friend's like favorite character, so I had to cop this. My best friend's no longer with us, so as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, mission accomplished. Like, he never was able to get this figure, but I got it for him, so it's all good. And I guess I did have a lot of pickups, but I didn't think about even showing them. I got them a while ago, so like I didn't think about anything. I think I might have gotten them like right after we filmed our last podcast. But I did want to talk about some nerd news just because it just dropped today and I thought that it was awesome. So Hasbro's been doing retro packaging kind of like this, but not like this exactly. Like they'll look like this in the blister packs and stuff, but they'll look more like the old X-Men toys or the old Marvel toys and stuff like that from like the 80s and early 90s. And I personally love those, like the boxes and stuff. I think that they're really cool throwbacks. So Hasbro's been doing the same thing with G.I. Joe Classified. And when they've been doing this, because there's two different classified series for G.I. Joe. There's G.I. Joe Classified, which are like new realistic looking renditions of these original characters, and they're in like classified boxes and stuff like that. And then they'll do the same kind of figure, but they'll put it in a retro package, like a blown up version of those old school 3 and a 1/4 inch scale figures. And one of the characters that they're coming out with in that packaging is Scarlet, and Scarlet looks legit. Like I saw it and I was like, yo, that's sick. And I already have like the classified Scarlet, but her suit is just kind of reminiscent of the original suit. And so this one is very much like the original, and she's just a good looking version like of the character, which I thought was really cool. I don't remember which episode it was, but I talked about both these characters because I picked them both up when we went to our Utah trip at like some like random comic shop and stuff. But they're coming out with Quick Kick, which I love. Like, this character is so kick-ass. And then last but not least, one of my favorite characters that I picked up recently, it was in the same trip, was that Techno Viper, that purple character. And coincidentally enough, that guy's coming back too, and he looks awesome, dude. Like, I was just like, holy shit, this is so sick. Also, I was thinking about it because I just almost finished cleaning like my room, where like I have like my shoes and my not my sneakers, but my action figures. I was thinking about doing a little tour like in the podcast, but like I also not sure because like podcasts are, I know that ours is a video based podcast.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason we put them on podcast platforms even though they're video based. So like,
if you want, I could start it like right when you were talking about that, but we can swap my face out and you can do like afterwards you can go through and just like do a little panning of your room. So if you wanted to like talk about it, it can be over my face right now.
You want me to do that in like this episode?
Yeah, why not? You want to do it in a future one?
I was thinking when I was like more prepared. Because I was thinking where like you just hold the camera and I'll like show like my stuff.
Oh.
Like, so you just want me to just like quickly go through and just be like, here you go. Hope you saw something.
Hope you like all my Power Rangers and X-Men and Batman and...
You might want to pause it. If you want to catch everything. You know what I mean? Like, is that how you want me to do it? You just want me to do a quick glance.
Be like, hey guys.
This is my stuff. Enjoy.
I don't know. That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it, because, yeah, I didn't.
No, normally when you like show your collection, you show it. You know what
I didn't realize this was going to be like cribs or something.
It's not cribs, it's nerds. And the last but not least, since this news just came out today, but I love playing Fortnite. And first off, the current update is awesome. Like, it was a little weird at first because like the gameplay is a little different, like the mechanics. Mm-hmm. Not the overall mechanics, but like you're slower and faster in certain things. But now you can like move and band-aid yourself or like re-health yourself.
Instead of standing in one place?
Yeah, you can take shields while moving. You can do med kits while moving. It's like way cooler. I just think that the game feels more like Call of Duty. It's got more Call of Duty isms, and I dig that. Anyways, Ninja Turtles are coming to Fortnite. I'm super excited to get all of those skins.
That sounds really pricey.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculously expensive.
I feel like this is a great way to because I had asked this about Power Rangers and like, hey, I'm curious, like more so I know who's the most popular because they're the ones that they always show. The red, the green, and pink Ranger are always the ones. White Ranger, if it happens to be a part of it as well. And so I was kind of like, ooh, I wonder what the numbers are like as far as which one doesn't get picked. And so like same thing with the turtles, like which one doesn't get picked. And now I feel like this is a great way to find out, like you have $10 to buy a turtle skin.
Well, so to answer that portion of your question, our son is excited to at the very least get Raph because he knows that he doesn't have enough funds to get all four.
Okay.
But he would choose all four if he could.
I know, but that's the thing. You're only getting to play with one unless like somehow they get to follow you. That would be cool.
They don't. That would be cool. But yeah, like for me, I'm actually an adult, so I can be like, I'm going to spend $50 on digital skins, which sounds ridiculous. I know this, okay? But they are so cool. Like my RoboCop skin is so dope.
Okay, but you're going to buy all four at once, or are you going to buy one and play with it for a little bit? And then...
I need all four.
Like right off the bat?
They're brothers. They got to go together.
I'm just curious. Then who are you playing with first?
Oh, I'll probably just be Mikey. And if I'm not Mikey, I'll probably be Donnie. And to answer your question as far as like who is the shelf sitter or the peg warmer
of a turtle?
The turtles, I think that it depends on the era of turtles.
I know Donnie didn't used to get any love.
That's the thing. The original 87 stuff, I think that Donnie was probably the biggest peg warmer. Raph and Leo were probably the two getting pulled off the shelf the most. Maybe Mikey as well. But then when you go from there to the 2003 turtles, that one to me is like anybody's game because I feel like they did a good job making all four of them well-rounded. But then when you go from there to what I call the Booyakasha turtles, the CGI one from 2012, Donatello is one of my favorite characters in that series.
I was trying to remember. I know like him and Mikey became my favorites through watching
the 2003 one.
Yes. But I also think Donnie became my favorite because when I would have to sit and play like GameCube Turtles with you.
Same era though.
He was the one that I could fight the best with because he just has this giant stick that whipped around.
That's different. So that's gameplay strategy. And when we're talking about that, even if you go all the way back to the very first Ninja Turtle video game from the NES, Donatello with that weapon and that bow staff, first off, it's slow as
I am the weakest player, so I just need something that works.
But that's the thing. But with the bow staff, you got length.
Yes.
So you can hit the bad guys from way far. You can get the flying ones by scooping up. You can get the ones below you by scooping down. And it's the strongest weapon out of all of them, the giant stick.
Yeah.
So you're talking about two different things.
I'm just saying, like, that's why I have, plus he's like a little nerdy dude. Like I have a strong love for Donnie that I didn't have as a kid. Like as a kid, I liked Raph in the original Ninja Turtles.
That's what I'm saying. It's an era thing. From the original 87 stuff, a lot of people preferred Raphael. They liked Leo because he's the leader. They like Raphael because he's cool but rude. Some people gravitated towards Mikey because he's the party dude. But nobody really the nerd back then. And that's what I'm saying. And you jump to the 2003 series, they did a good job making all four of them really well-rounded.
Their own people.
Right, and you related to each one in a different way. I feel like they did that well in the 90s movie, the live-action one. Because that was where Donatello, like, peaked up for me, where I was like, this fool's hilarious. And then again, going back to the video game, Raph and Mikey might be most people's favorite characters. Their weapons are tiny though in the game. You got no reach with them little you know what I mean? So like you don't want to use that. Like you want to use the sword or the staff. And so like different scenario. But anyways, I'm excited for them to hit Fortnite. I really want Power Rangers. I don't know if that property would ever go into Fortnite, because I feel like because you're killing people, even though it's not like real, it's just like animated violence, but like because you're killing people, I don't know if certain properties would be allowed, you know, to be in that system. Like, could you imagine a Disney character like Buzz Lightyear?
Oh, I know. That's in Dreamlight Valley.
but that's what I'm saying though. You know what I mean? Because even though there are Marvel and DC skins in the Fortnite game, they still made their own WB, you know? I can't remember what it's called, like Versus or something like that, where there's like, you know, Avatar and Scooby-Doo and whatever other characters and stuff, and some of the DC characters are in it and stuff, you know, so they want it to be like more for kids. That one's more like Super Smash Bros. Than Fortnite is like a melee game. But either way, like I think that Fortnite is really fun, and the more skins, the better. It's like changing clothes. Right now I'm in an Anakin mood. I just want to be Anakin for however many weeks that I'm Anakin, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I just want to be RoboCop now because RoboCop's a badass, and that's how I feel. And then sometimes I go back to Snake Eyes. And
I guess that's the thing that I don't like about your guys' Fortnite is because you can just throw cash at it all day and get what you want.
it's genius. It's a free game.
I know, and I understand why they do it that way, but like there are ways where you can like do quests to, I mentioned Dreamlight Valley. You can
Earn.
You can do both.
Right.
I could, if I wanted to right now, throw $50 down and I could buy everything I want to in there. But instead I'm like, no, I'm going to freaking earn my other way.
Yeah, but would you rather do that or have to buy, I don't remember, I want to say is Dreamlight Valley that Disney game that you play? Okay, so like you were just telling me about how frustrated you were that it's coming out on actual console, like a disc or a cartridge or whatever, but then there's DLCs,
Yeah.
which you're new to,
Yeah.
and which gamers are not, and DLCs suck donkey.
No, I know. There's like 3 of them and I'm trying.
Yeah, welcome to Spider-Man PS4. It's crazy.
But so to kind of appease the people who have been playing it, they're like, oh no, we did some upgrades in there as well. But if you want these other cool things, so I'm like, no, I'm still working on what I already was working, and now you've added new things to it. So I will hopefully be able to put off doing this DLC until after Christmas time because I'm already spending a lot of money right now.
But that's exactly what I'm saying though, is that do you want to buy a game and then have to buy more stuff to it? Or would you rather get the game for free and everything that it comes with? Have the ability to earn based off of quests and whatever your side missions are and stuff like that. And then if you really want something, you can just pay them.
I know. I guess my thing is we have our son and he wants everything all the time and he doesn't know that like, hey, they're gonna like come back or
he's starting to get it because he's seen it so many times because I've told him like when he's missed stuff, I'm like, dude, it's coming back.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's not. It's never coming back. And then like 6 weeks later, it's back. And it's just like, do you have money saved? And he's like, I do. And then I'm like, go buy it then. Like it's your V-Bucks, you know what I mean? So like,
these game people are very clever. I will give them that.
Oh, it's
like,
genius.
They know how to make money out of nothing and they're making a lot of it. So good for you guys.
And it's all up to you though.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to buy anything. You got free skins when you do these quests and stuff.
You can
and at
work
the end
for
of
it.
Yeah, at the end of every season, like when they switch the map up and stuff, like it just gives it all to you. Like everything that you didn't earn already, they give it to you. Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm going to have a talk with this kid.
I'm just saying. So like you can build up your inventory in your library.
Yeah. So you can have it sooner.
That's why you do the quests.
Yes.
Is to get it now.
Yes.
But like I don't do that.
You just wait. And
I just want to play
there.
the game. I don't want to do quests and all these side missions. I just want to play the game. I want to kill people and I want to be in first. That's what I want. That's why I play the game.
I am curious, and since we're in this conversation, I can put this towards the audience. As much as you guys like asking us questions, I have a serious question. I've already asked Chris, and I asked our son.
What place you want to be in?
Yes. What? So obviously, when you're playing these games where you want to be number one, like I get that. What I want to know is what is the place that you're okay with losing at out of 100?
Can I explain my thoughts on it? Because I know that you know, but I want to present this to you as the viewer or listener so that you can say that's exactly the thought.
Okay.
Because I think that more people think like me in this situation.
Well, I know because our son came downstairs and he had lost at number 2 and he was
pissed.
Furious. And so I was just like, hey, I have a question for you. And he
and I had the same answer.
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. So anybody that plays anything competitive, you want to get in the top 10. Anything less than that sucks ass. This happens to me far too often and I hate to admit it, but sometimes I land and I can't get a weapon soon enough and somebody murks me right away, and when I get 99 or 100, I'm livid. Because like it takes me so long to get into the game. Because it's all internet based. And like you sit there, you're sitting in the waiting room, you're watching people dance around and be stupid, and I'm just like, this, all this. I just want to play. And so by the time I finally get into the game and I land and I get murked instantly, I'm just like, because now I just wasted 15 minutes. 15 minutes just gone. Gone instantly. I'm livid. So you want to be in the top 10. Okay? Anything in the top 10 is good except second place. Second place feels like 100th because you were right there. Right there. We watched Squid Games last night.
Yes.
The finale of Squid Games, the challenge. There was 2 people left. Only one can win. And everybody that enters this thing knows that that's how the game's going to go. It was the look on the person's face as the other person won. And I looked at you and said, that's how it feels. Where you were right there, bro. You were right there.
So when it comes to Fortnite, if you lose at number 3 or number 10, like you're fine.
Because that means, wow, I was pretty legit today.
Okay, but say, then what's the middle ground? Like 11?
No, there's no middle ground, dude. I'm telling you, if you're in the top 10, you're solid and you feel good about yourself. Anything below that, you're like, me.
But then number 2 and number 99 and 100.
You might as well kick me in the balls. All right, so now we are back in what we currently call Jodi's Corner, but was originally supposed to be called What Did You Learn Today? Or What Did We Learn Today? This is where you kind of take us onto a different path where this is your interests, or it's what it's turned into.
Yeah.
So what have you got for us today?
Nothing scary.
Good.
It's the holiday season. So I went and I found an article where it was literally like 45 weird facts about Christmas, and I've trimmed it down. But if you want to go and find it, it's on berries.com. They posted it back in 2021, and it was literally 45 facts. And I was like, that's really cool, but that's a lot for me to go over.
Why 45?
I don't know why she chose
25?
45. 25 would have been a good, strong number, I feel like.
I feel like that's like the advent calendar.
No, I know, because I found another list which had a lot of similar things, and I think it was like 15. So I don't know why these people are picking these numbers.
They're trying to piggyback on the SEO.
So these are some things that I thought would be cool. I did some of it.
This is 25, 45? What did you say?
Originally it was 45. I turned it into 18.
Oh, okay.
So I felt like...
that's what I'm saying. You piggybacked off of what they did.
I know, but I'm just letting you know, if you want the full thing, you can go there. I did do some of the ones I was like, that's a weird thing. So I'm going to like go and research that fact a little bit more.
Are you bringing that up in your list?
Yeah. So starting at number 1, Black Friday is not the busiest shopping day of the year, which I mean, I guess makes sense even more so now. I feel like you've just watched a whole video about how Black Friday is kind of dead.
I went out on Black Friday because we needed to get something. I don't remember what it was. Was it milk?
Maybe.
Or no, our kids were sick.
Oh.
So they needed electrolytes.
Yes.
Yeah, that sucked. She always tries to make fun of me, like, you go out on Black Friday every year. Every year you say you're not, and then you got to go out and get something. And this year I was just like, I ain't got to get shit. And then she was like, the kids need electrolytes. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't just live. Oh, what I was saying, though, is that it was dead as fuck. Like I told you.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just walk straight to the line.
I was like, how was it?
Yeah, like normally you get there and like you're like waiting in line for like an hour so you could buy a pack of gum. I just walked straight up to the register and checked out, and I was in and out of there in like 10 minutes.
So the 2 days right before Christmas are actually the busiest shopping days.
The 2 days right before?
Yeah, so Christmas Eve and December 23rd.
All the procrastinators?
Yes, speaking of, 1 in 3 men do all of their shopping on Christmas Eve, and that sounds so stressful.
Those are just typical guys. I can't even knock it.
A third of the 20 highest grossing movies were released during the Christmas season.
Blockbuster season is the summer, but Christmas is where your money's at because everybody's out of school.
Yeah, you guys know we worked in the movie theater. I was hired because of the holidays. So we've always been a part of that. And then since we've left the movie theater life, we've now become movie goers on Christmas.
Right. Well, it's funny too because one of the things that they tell you when you apply, at least at AMC, I don't know if they do this now, but at the time they did, but it was just like, hey, you've got to be available.
Oh yeah.
Every day of the year.
Yes, that, and then when holidays would come out, they would give us all a sheet, and it had all of the holidays. So,
and
like,
you would request.
It would say they would have Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then you had to say number it from 1 to 10. are you willing to be an opener or a closer, and like rank. And so for me, I would be like, oh, well, I don't mind working Christmas evening or New Year's Eve because that's not a big thing for me, but I'm not missing Christmas Eve. I do love Thanksgiving. So yeah, you would like rank what you were doing.
Yeah. I remember when I was hired, they were like, do you need to have like a holiday off? And I was like, nah, I'm just like work my ass, dude. Like, I just want money.
Would you like to guess what the #1 Christmas movie like to ever come out with? Like their opening or their opening season, I guess it would be.
What? Opening season?
Not season, but like the time that they got to, because you know, some movies
Are you
only.
talking about their opening weekend?
I don't think this is for opening weekend, the dollar amount. I think it's for their time span in the theater. Some movies are in and out of a theater before you even, because they just can't get butts in the seats.
Like Equilibrium.
And then there's some movies like Frozen where you could buy the movie on DVD or you could still go sit at the theater and watch it.
So you're talking about the longest theatrical run?
Yes, and like how much money they brought in. Like, what is this #1 movie?
But was it released during December?
It was released in November, but it was a Christmas movie.
Do I know the movie?
Yes.
Have I seen the movie?
Oh, yes.
Many times?
Yes.
Do I like the movie?
Yes.
Do I love the movie?
I think you enjoy it enough.
Is it a kid's movie?
Yes.
Is it one of the Home Alones?
No.
Really? Is it within a niche, like a genre? Like,
The Christmas is the genre.
I know that Christmas is the genre, but like,
And family would be the genre.
yeah, but what I mean is like, is it like sci-fi fantasy or is it like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
is
would
it a
say
comic book movie?
classic
Classic.
with the
What year was it released?
2000.
Oh my God. Is it Toy Story?
No. It is definitely Christmas.
The theme of the movie or the time period in which
theme
the
of
movie
the
takes
movie.
place? And it released in the year 2000.
I actually saw it. My family was a part of this number.
So I was a senior in high school.
You love the actor.
Is that like you're in love with the act? Like, is it an actress? Or
No, it's
is
not
it...
an actress.
Okay.
Our daughter famously sang the song about me.
It's a musical?
No. Well, I mean, there's a couple music numbers.
Now you lost me. Now I'm stumped. I don't know.
It's Jim Carrey in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
That's the highest.
200
What was the verbiage? Is it highest grossing?
The highest grossing movie about Christmas since 1980 is Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Wow.
It came out November 2000 and pulled in $260 million.
I don't know if I even watched that movie in theaters.
That's a thing. My family, we did go and see it.
Yeah, because I was a senior, so I don't remember watching it then.
But our daughter, for sure, like, we've watched this movie so many times because of her.
Yes, and I know that. That's crazy. I do love Jim Carrey.
So much.
Like, a lot.
Fact number 3 that I have here, I'm really curious for anybody who either lives in Japan or are Japanese, but according to this, it is a tradition in Japan to eat KFC for Christmas. Orders must be placed 2 months in advance.
That's funny, because that's not surprising.
I'm just like, what?
Growing up, all of my friends were Asian, like some type of Asian. The Christmas holiday, like, that's the one thing. They make fun of it in A Christmas Story.
I know.
Where they end up at a Chinese restaurant because they the turkey.
Yeah, the dogs eat the turkey.
Yeah, and so like, and that's the thing. Like, it's a well-known fact, at least in the Bay Area. Just Asians as a whole, they don't have traditional Christmas like what we do. Like, they'll celebrate and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they'll like do the gifts. But like, as far as like food goes, like, it's like kind of anything goes, and they normally will have Chinese food or some kind of like other dish. I didn't know it was specifically Chinese, or KFC in Japan, but I think that's cool.
Fact number 4, there's that joke how Thanksgiving doesn't have enough holiday music. Did you know that Jingle Bells was originally a song about Thanksgiving?
Why would that holiday have like, hey, hey, we came to your country and we slaughtered your people and took your land.
We'll get to that later.
And now we celebrate it.
But no.
You bunch of
So yeah, this guy, James Lord Pierpont, in 1857, wrote the song to commemorate his hometown of Medford, which is in Massachusetts. They have an annual sleigh race around Thanksgiving, and so he wanted to make a song for them. And I was just like, son of a, that is about, that's all it's about. But we, as society in America, have made it a Christmas song. Do you know how old your typical Christmas tree is that you would buy at a lot?
Literally, like how old or
Yeah,
how
like
long
how
it's
long
been
it got
sitting?
to how long it got to grow for before they cut it and sell it.
I'll guess like 7 years.
15.
Oh, wow.
I know. So like, I
Damn,
don't.
you got to prepare.
Right, the
That's
amount of
crazy.
land you would have to have and like to do those cycles,
Right.
so you can like have stuff for each year. I thought that was pretty impressive.
I mean, farmers are already impressive, like with
Yes.
how they're on a structured schedule.
Yes.
So,
But usually it's like by the
it's by
season, not
yeah, it's seasonal.
hey, I got to get this tree, and if like something happens and it destroys a whole like,
Oh,
oh my,
yeah, if your whole crop gets,
yeah.
yeah, that's nuts.
This one I kind of feel like everybody knows, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer got his start as an advertising gimmick. Do you know for which store though?
J.C. Penney?
No,
I'm just throwing something out there.
Montgomery Ward in 1839.
And he weaseled his way into actual Santa lore.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did they get? Is Montgomery Ward even still in business?
I don't think they're in business anymore.
Did they at least get paid residuals or somehow? Like, who came up with that?
I don't know.
That's cool.
This fact is funny only because I was just kind of like, hey, I love this.
Can I just say real quick that I like this?
You like this?
I don't like getting scared. I like this.
Okay. Paul McCartney earns $400,000 a year for his wonderful Christmas time song, which is widely regarded as the worst song ever recorded. And I'm like,
Paul McCartney, like the Beatles did?
Yes. He sings that song. You hear it at least once every couple days during this time of year from me.
I am not a Beatles person.
I know. But anyways, I love Christmas music, and I love the Beatles, and I love Simply Having
That's his song?
a Wonderful Christmas Time.
That's considered a bad song?
Yes! I was like, that's a great song. What are you talking about?
I'll back him up on that one.
It's a good song.
I don't think that's horrible.
What I thought was weird because...
Why can't Jingle Bells be considered the worst Christmas song of all time? It's not even about Christmas.
Then I was just like, wait, hold on, because Bing Crosby's version of White Christmas is the highest selling single of all time. And then I was like, what? It's not Mariah Carey? Mariah Carey's not even number 2.
What?
Yeah, it's Bing Crosby again with Silent Night. And then Mariah Carey shows up.
Just wait another generation or two. That'll change.
So the first Christmas was celebrated on American land in 1539 in Tallahassee, Florida. There were no trees or presents, just a religious mass. That was their celebration. And then I found out that Christmas used to be illegal. And this is where I had to like go and do some digging because some people were like, like actually. But so in 1659, the Massachusetts Bay Colony enacted a law called Penalty for Keeping Christmas. The notion was that such festivals as were surreptitiously kept in other countries were a great dishonor of God and offense of others. Anyone who was found celebrating Christmas by failing to work or having a big meal or any other kind of celebrating would have to pay 5 shillings, which is about $48.
All for celebrating a fake made-up holiday. Not surprising.
Oklahoma was the last U.S. state to declare Christmas a legal holiday in 1907.
It was literally outlawed?
I don't know. So that was the weird thing and got me thinking about how us as America is so weird because we have laws that go everywhere, but then we also have state laws where
you're talking about the difference between federal and state?
Yeah. And so I was just kind of like, that's weird.
I personally find that to be... I don't think that this is political, but I do find that odd.
Like, it should just be the same.
I don't know, because...
Even like driving laws, like my friend who...
There are certain things like that where like, yeah, like if you're from California and say you're doing a cross-country adventure, like a road trip, and you get pulled over because you broke some law that's not a law where you're from, it's kind of like, how are you supposed to know? So like for something like that, I get it. But like there are other things like marijuana and stuff like where it's just like if it's legal in some states, just make it legal everywhere. Like this is so stupid. You know what I mean? Like why?
Yeah.
So yeah, but then I'm sure that there's other things too, because that's also something is like, what is it called? Is it capital punishment? Like the death penalty?
Mm-hmm. You know? I know that's a big thing too, like when there are serial killers, like where they get tried.
Right.
Like,
I think that's what's political, is that there are politics within the politics and there's loopholes. And I think that that's not right. But I'm sure I can have my mind changed. Like if people were to explain to me a law that made sense, that was legal, enforced somewhere but not somewhere else, and then they explained why that was a good thing, like I'd be open to hearing it.
Christmas lights were so expensive that they used to be rented rather than sold.
That's wild.
An electrically lit tree was a status symbol in the early 1900s.
How the would you light it otherwise? You got candles in that?
Yeah.
That sounds dangerous, dude.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You got to be stupid.
So our daughter, her American Girl dolls, originally they were books. And I loved, my favorite was Felicity, I believe was her name.
Okay.
And she would talk about how they would light candles to put somehow on the tree. But I mean, there were also like the angels that you see where they have like candles on their head. Like that was a thing. Anyways,
whatever.
Yeah, it was a thing. Okay, this one's a little bit sad, but a poll done in 2010 over on Facebook, if anybody remembers that place, was done. And the 2 weeks before Christmas is the most popular time for couples to break up.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that it was a very popular time for murder. Which could be one of the same.
If you watched last week's podcast, then you already know.
For some people, breaking up is murdering. So, like, that's their number one option. They can't just let things go.
Would you like to guess? I should have asked this earlier, but would you like to guess what are the top 6 Christmas tree producing states?
No, because I would have to remember more states than I care to admit.
Just give me a couple.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Is Wyoming a state?
It is a state, but it is not this.
Okay. Oregon.
Yes.
California.
No.
What? We got so much room here. Like up north? Washington.
Yes.
Ohio.
No. I was really proud of you for pulling out Wisconsin.
I've been there. So I know that I ain't got going on over there. Got so much room for trees. Can I look at the map?
Sure, as long as it's not a map of where the Christmas trees are.
No, I just wanna look at the states. Michigan.
Yes.
So that's 4?
Uh-huh.
So I just need one more.
You need 2.
What? I thought you said 5.
Top 6.
Oh, top 6? So Oregon, Washington, Wisconsin. Oh, Minnesota for sure.
No.
What? How the have you seen the Timberwolves logos? There's trees all over that.
Well, they're borrowing them from a neighbor then.
Okay, which neighbor? Because I already said Wisconsin.
Okay.
Is it North Dakota?
No.
South Dakota?
No.
Iowa?
No.
What neighbor are we talking about? There's no more neighbors.
Michigan?
That's way the hell over on the other side.
It's not.
They're not even touching.
Oh. But I mean, the lakes.
No, that doesn't count. You can't just cross streams and
I don't think you're going to
consider
get the
yourself a neighbor.
last one.
So Michigan was it?
Yes.
I was thinking about Michigan, but it looks so small.
It's the glove state, right?
That's a glove?
Is it shaped like this?
That's a mitten.
Yeah, like a glove.
No, there's gloves and then there's mittens.
Okay.
Okay, that's not a glove. A glove got fingers. Mittens look like a...
But I was right. It's the mitten then.
I guess, yeah. It looks like a cooking mitt.
Yeah.
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 That's not a glove.
Like a cooking glove.
It's not a glove.
You're not going to get the last one.
Why not?
Because you won't.
Georgia.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Where is that at? Let me see.
It's on the East Coast. The word merry and Merry Christmas was not always accepted because being merry used to signify slight intoxication. To which I was like, it was like a light bulb moment because whenever you watch...
That's what people do during Christmas.
No, I know, but whenever you watch like British Christmas festivities, like in a movie, they never wish a Merry Christmas. It's always Happy Christmas, Happy Christmas. And so I was like, is it because?
So hold on. What? So Christmas started in Florida?
No, it didn't start. It was just the first celebration in America.
Oh.
I never said it started there.
Really? I interpreted that as
No.
Florida started.
That's why then a few years later it was being outlawed because they're like, no, we left that behind. And so we do not want that here.
And then they realized, but we could make money.
I don't know. The ancient Greeks considered the mistletoe an aphrodisiac.
Wait, they would celebrate Christmas?
I don't know if it was a part of Christmas, but they just considered mistletoe an aphrodisiac, which is probably...
Is that why you gotta kiss people underneath that?
You kiss under the mistletoe for good luck in your love life.
It was the pagans and Romans that started Christmas. It says the origins of Christmas stem from both the pagan and the Roman cultures. The Romans actually celebrated 2 holidays in the month of December. The first was Saturnalia.
Yes, I could have gone down that road because I did the history of trick-or-treating in America, and I had to like give basically then a brief history lesson on Halloween in general. And so after I had put this together, I was like, I guess I could have done the history of Christmas in America, but I was just like, it was really hard to do that in like a 20-minute span.
Saturnalia was hopefully I'm saying that right, but which was a 2-week festival honoring their god of agriculture, Saturn.
Yes, that's why Christmas is at the time of year it is because once we did embrace Christmas, they were trying to like wash out all of the pagan holidays.
Okay, because then it says on December 25th, they celebrated the birth of Mithra, their sun god. So how the did they implement and push Jesus into
They
this?
just were like, we're going to slap marketing. Yeah, that was a fact I could have gone over, is that Jesus wasn't really born. But again,
we all knew this.
I was like, that's why I was like, am I going to talk about Rudolph? I feel like we all know this, but
Interesting.
this was my favorite fact. You can go to Santa Claus school. There is a school called the Charles W.
Like clown college?
I guess there's actually, when I was Googling it, there are several Santa Claus schools you can go to, but this one is the Charles W. Howard Santa Claus School in Midland. Is MI Michigan? I know we just talked about the mitten.
I will decline commenting because my brain's a little foggy. I'm kind of hungry.
Great.
So, I know. Don't worry. No pozole today.
But each year they host 130 Santas. It's a 3-day experience where they gather and learn about...
Only 130? How do you get in?
You can sign up right now.
I
looked into it.
I don't want a bunch of kids telling me what they want for Christmas.
It's a 3-day experience where they gather and learn about the history of Saint Nick, popular toys, and Santa etiquette. This current year, like right now, when they did it in October, it was their 86th year in business. You can register yourself and a guest now for the 2024 class.
Are there age restrictions?
It didn't say. They have vendors for if you want to improve your suit or beard. They have like wig people there who will like help you master your look. And at the very end, they have a graduation ceremony with a full dinner.
A full dinner? Where the are the cookies and milk? That's a missed opportunity, homie.
I'm sure there are some. I did think it was funny though, because like there's a Q&A section and they're like, do I need to show up in my Santa outfit? And they said, no, please don't. We believe in there being only one true Santa. So having a large gathering of Santas is not a good look for us. So it's just all about, I don't know, it was so cool and cute and wholesome and I loved it. See, I'm not all dark.
But did you know that one of those Santas went on a murder spree?
I'm sure I could find one.
I'm sure
next week. Last but not least, some toy trivia for you. Toys for Tots was founded in LA. 5,000 toys were collected during their very first toy drive, which was in 1947. A handmade doll was the very first donation. In 1980, the highest selling Christmas toy was a Rubik's Cube for $1.99.
Wow.
Now it costs about $10.
What?
Which made me then go and Google for our birth years, what was the #1 toy. I actually knew yours because it's like a family story in mine.
Okay, what is it?
Do you want to try and guess?
I mean, I was just born then, so I have
I know,
no
but
idea.
you wouldn't, in all of your toy knowledge, you wouldn't know the #1 toy in 1983?
Why would I?
I don't know.
Was it an action figure?
No.
Then I wouldn't know.
It was the Cabbage Patch doll.
That was then?
Yeah.
But I feel like there was Cabbage Patch craze even after,
Oh,
like when I was a kid.
There was, but that was the year it came out, and my parents were high school sweethearts, and so my dad wanted to get my mom, I think they would have been 15.
Was he successful?
He did, and I had the doll. I don't have it anymore. It was this... The Cabbage Patch doll he was able to get, because it wasn't like now when you walk up and there's pegs of things. They were all supposed to be slightly individual looking.
They were supposed to replicate having a unique child.
Yes, and they came with a birth certificate.
Right.
So the one that he got her was a boy baby, and he had no hair. It was like, he basically looked like Stewie
Tommy.
or Tommy. But
From Rugrats.
he had blue overalls. And
what was Tommy's name?
Tommy Pickles?
Oh, that's right. I wanted to say Tommy Oliver, but that's a Power Ranger.
Anyways, yeah, my dad was successful, and he and my aunt, so my mom's sister, they went together to go get it. I think because she had a car. This one, I looked up a news article while looking up the number one, and there was this one particular store where they kept all of the dolls in the back room, and they allowed people to come in one by one to pick out their
It sounds
doll.
like a sneaker release.
So that there would be no they were like, we're not even dealing with
Yeah.
you guys rushing the store.
That's funny. What's the one in your year? Because yours is 85?
Yeah, you should know this one actually, because you have a personal story to it.
To the toy?
Yeah, to the toy.
Is it a Teddy Ruxpin? Really? No
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my Teddy Ruxpin?
Yeah.
And Grubby?
It just said Teddy Ruxpin. And the article for this one explained how they were actually worried about it being a hit because they did not see any kids being able to say that name while sitting on Santa's lap. They were kind of like, should we change this?
They thought kids were morons.
They
and
just
couldn't
didn't think they were
say,
going
"I
to be
want a
able to
Teddy
tell.
Ruxpin?"
Yeah, they were like, "Ugh."
What the
Might be difficult.
God, some adults, I swear. That's cool. That was a cool, I mean, some people thought it was creepy.
Oh, I can see why. Nothing's creepier than a Tickle Me Elmo doll with no fur on it.
Right.
Those videos have been making the rounds again. I'm like,
They do all the time. Like
Yeah.
every so they recirculate and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that the Teddy Ruxpin was a really cool. They had a Teddy Ruxpin hospital.
So you could send them when they broke?
You had to bring it in because they were Teddy Ruxpin stores. And yeah, and like I was an only child for a long time, and so when it was just me and my mom, like my toys and my stuffed toys and stuff were like my play people. Like, you know how like people have like imaginary friends. So like it was kind of like that, but like that's where I would like roughhouse with Teddy, and like I power bombed him one time and broke his neck.
Yeah.
Like literally, like his head was just like that, and like he wouldn't move his animatronics anymore because it was no longer connected. And so I was devastated that I killed my toy. And I actually remember going to this store. I did think even at the time, like as a child, like being like, this is weird. Because like the guy like tried to pretend like he was like a legit doctor. He had a coat and everything.
Oh, it was like the original Build-A-Bear then.
Kind of, yeah. And yeah, and like the guy was like talking to me like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna, and I was just like, just fix the toy, bro. Like his mouth don't work. Like I wasn't some dumbass, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, I know that he's not real. I just need him to operate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they were unable to fix it, and they were expensive, so like I couldn't get another one. I don't know how my mom would have been able to afford both of those things, let alone one of them. And yeah, and like for whatever reason, you could tether them together so they would talk to each other. Like Grubby's electronic components were like on his belly, and like he took hella big batteries, like the 9, or not the 9 volt, but the D's. I don't know what Teddy took, but like his was behind on his back, and he had like a tape cassette in there. You would have the book, and he would read the story to you, and they would talk to each other. And then I think they came with VHS tapes too, because I really liked the VHS movie. Like I would watch it like regularly, and it was like a whole adventure and all of this stuff. So and in that there was a live action Teddy, like a guy in a big bear suit. And it was so weird. I don't know why I'm remembering all of these things right now, but yeah, it was strange. But yeah, it was a cool toy until I broke it. And then they re-released Teddy Ruxpin however long later. Should we wait because there's a garbage can out there? Yeah. What's they saying?
The movie.
No, there was a re-release of Teddy Ruxpin. He was tiny, and not as cool. That was all I was gonna say.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, that was a cool story.
Well,
yeah.
you power bombing your Teddy Ruxpin. I still don't think you've seen the preview for it, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's coming out and it's a scary one. I think it's called like Imaginary or something, but it has this bear in it named Chauncey, it was the scariest thing ever. I don't even remember what movie I was going to see. Oh, it was the new Hunger Games movie, and I was like, why is this my trailer before?
We've talked about that before.
But yeah.
Is it Cinemark?
It was at Cinemark.
Yeah, Cinemark's like, stop putting scary ass trailers before. It's not scary, bro.
And then it had me scared. And then the very next trailer was about these guys who are doing an extreme sports race across like a Hawaiian island, I want to say. They got a bike, they got a swim, they got a run, and there's this dog, and it's a true story, and the dog like adopts this guy and does the 200 race with him, and then you think the dog is dying, and I just looked over at Melissa and I was like, what is happening?
It sounds like they told you the whole story in the trailer. You don't even gotta watch the movie. But yeah, Cinemark. What the man?
I just came here to watch Hunger Games.
I don't even remember what movie we was watching, but we were with the kids.
Oh, that was Blue Beetle.
Like, come on, man.
Scared a whole family in front of us.
And whoever was next to me, I was like, oh, God. And like the guy next to me was like, for real, dude. Like, what the f? And I was like, I don't know what's going on right now.
Anyways.
Ain't nobody here trying to watch Blue Beetle and want to watch that.
We will always rant about trailers, good or bad, but I feel like we should wrap things up after all of that Christmas festivitiness.
Since we just talked about trailers, can I just say the best worst trailer of all time, the one that f***ed me up from a movie-going experience, I thought it was going to be the most badass movie ever, was X3, okay? I was hyped. All of those trailers were sick. Beast, all this stuff. They showed you Colossus, like finally ready to go. Like not just like 1 second scene like he was in X2. So I was Angel, all this stuff, man. I was like, yo, this is going to be the most lit X-Men movie ever. And it's the worst movie ever. Yeah, and whoever cut that trailer, you're an asshole. Like you did a great job. You know what I mean? Like you sold the shit of just a horrible movie. So you, Merry Christmas. So, there's my bah humbug for the day. What a do you remember that?
I remember going to see the movie with you. Did we get to see it early or no?
No, because that was right around when Eric died. And so like me and Eric were so hyped for this movie.
Okay.
And I just remember walking out being like, bro, you missed out on some whack shit. Like you lucked out. Do you know? You didn't have to watch. We would have both been so disappointed. I was disappointed for both of us. Seriously, I'm joking, but not joking. The guy that cut that trailer. That guy really cut together a masterpiece of a trailer for a movie.
Love how much animosity you still have, 16 years later?
It just came into my head and I just had to get it out. Like, you and Cinemark. Why the did you scare us before a regular family movie?
I don't know.
Anyways.
Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, I don't even know where to go from that. I feel just like an angry white person in a giant yellow chair. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this episode 14.
Yes.
See, this is why I changed the name to Pop Culture Podcast, because we talked about a whole bunch of pop culture.
We're everywhere today.
Yeah, and it's cool to you know, like sneakers are cool, but like there's so much other cool stuff too. And it all intersects or intertwines somehow. Like I was reading the comments section of something in one of the Instagrams. Sorry, let me check the thing. Oh, I only got a second, so let me hurry up. But basically it was about PJ Tucker, who's like a sneakerhead in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And the comment section, they were so mean, dude. Like they were just like, this fool's not a real sneakerhead. And I'm just kind of like, well, why? And their reasoning is because he's rich. And so like you can't be a real sneakerhead if you're rich. And then somebody else compounded onto that thought by saying, you just can't be a sneakerhead and be in the NBA. And I was like, what? What if this current generation right now who grew up to be in sneakers as a sneakerhead makes the NBA? Are you telling me that just all of a sudden like he doesn't fit your weird gatekeeping criteria? Like it's so strange. Like, what kind of hater ass that?
I'd love to put a pin in this and talk about it in the next episode because I have a lot of thoughts on it.
Let's do it then.
Okay.
We will see you then. Peace.
Bye.